Selecting a topic may be the hardest step in the speech communication process. One of the biggest tips for public speakers is not to procrastinate at this phase of the process of building a speech. By postponing the start of your speech development process, you are shrinking the window of time for developing an effective speech. In addition, by delaying the first step, you are minimizing the time available to adequately research, organize, and practice your speech before getting up in front of your classmates to deliver your presentation. Speech topics are determined by the occasion, the audience, and the speaker's qualifications. Another strategy for helping you decide on a topic is to keep a page in your notebook titled Potential Speech Topics. As you go through your speech class, many in-class discussions may occur that are potential speech topics, so you can jot those down in your log. The process of self-evaluation has you explore topics that you know a lot about and topics you would like to know more about. So begin by asking yourself a few of the following questions to get a sense as to what you know a lot about. Perhaps your interests, where you traveled, jobs you've held, your major, cultural background, and what do you do in your free time? All of these may help you get closer to a speech topic that is appropriate for the occasion and your audience. Another strategy for coming up with a speech topic is through brainstorming. So your prompts will range from personal interests, grouping, and reference searches on the internet. Now, the goal of brainstorming is to try to think of as many topics as you can in a brief amount of time. Now, during this phase of creative process, judging and criticizing your ideas is not appropriate. So for those who are more visual, think about putting together a table with 6 columns. And one column would have people, another one places, things, events, processes, and concepts. And then from here, you just brainstorm ideas that fit in one of these categories. Again, your topic must be appropriate to the occasion and your audience. One of the easier ways to find a speech topic is just hop on the internet and conduct a web search on your favorite web browser. Here, we're going to start getting more focused as to how we can narrow our topic based on the general purpose. The general purpose may be defined as a broad goal of your speech, and there are 3 kinds of general purposes in public speaking: to entertain, to inform, and to persuade. Again, the general purpose may be defined as the broad goal of your speech, and there are 3 kinds of general purposes: to entertain, to inform, and to persuade. Let's take a look at how each of these 3 general purposes play out when coming up with a speech topic and speech topic ideas. The special occasion speech, which falls under the general purpose of to entertain, is a speech that concentrates on a special event. So special occasion speeches include presentations that have the purpose to introduce the main speaker, present an award or public recognition, accept an award, commemorate by paying tribute to a person, a group, an institution, or an idea, and finally, an after-dinner speech. Common speeches that we see in the special occasion speech are usually made at weddings when presenting the bride and groom. Other common special occasion speeches are made at weddings when presenting the bride and groom a toast. They also happen at retirement parties when a company representative bids farewell to the loyal employee, or when the loyal employee bids farewell to the company. We see speech to entertain during award shows when our favorite entertainers accept an Oscar, Emmy, or MTV award for their work. Special occasion speeches are also prominent at funerals when one delivers the eulogy of the deceased. On a happier note, a special occasion speech occurs when you salute and toast an important person in your life at his or her birthday party. As you can see, these speeches are delivered in a more social setting, but the speeches you deliver in this setting are noticed by all who are in attendance. Although these speeches may be delivered in more social situations, that does not mean that we can skimp out on the preparation of a well thought out public address. The second type of general purpose we're going to look at is the speech to inform. So when your general purpose is to inform, your objective is to enhance the audience's awareness, understanding, or knowledge about a topic. Now you can do this by communicating the information clearly, correctly, and interestingly. In a speech to inform, you do not try to persuade your audience to do or believe something as a result of your speech. We are here simply to inform the audience. The speech to persuade needs to influence, strengthen, or change the audience members' attitudes, values, beliefs, or behaviors. The persuasive speaker attempts to modify how the speaker feels about what they know and, in the end, how they behave. So we've learned about the general purpose: to entertain, to inform, and to persuade. The next type of purpose statement we must talk about is the specific purpose. The specific purpose is a single sentence that specifically states what the speaker hopes to accomplish in his or her speech. During the speech preparation process, it is easy to get sidetracked and distracted, but establishing your specific purpose will keep you anchored and on track. Thinking of the specific purpose statement is absolutely critical to public speaking success. One of the reasons is that when we don't have a very clear purpose as to what we hope to accomplish, our thoughts tend to scatter. When we do research, everything looks great, and when you put together all these wonderful sources together for a speech, your thoughts are very scattered and disjointed. The specific purpose keeps you centered as to what you hope to accomplish. This allows you to say yes and no to particular ideas that support your main points. We're going to learn how to format the specific purpose statement. There are 3 parts to a specific purpose statement. The first step is to state your general purpose. Now you have 3 options. It's to entertain, to inform, or to persuade. So when we are doing a special occasion speech, let's say, your general purpose will be to entertain. When we're doing our informative speeches, your general purpose will be to inform. And when you do your persuasive speech, your general purpose will be to persuade. The second part of the sentence is always my audience. Regardless of the general purpose that you have in place, the second part of the specific purpose statement is always my audience. The reason why we have my audience in the specific purpose statement is that public speaking is an audience-centered activity, and you must think about your audience at all steps in the speech preparation process. The third part of your specific purpose statement is the piece where you wish to express what you hope to accomplish. Now, this requires more thinking on your part as to what is it exactly do I hope to accomplish? And is this part of the specific purpose statement? Vague ideas at this part of the purpose statement lead to very vague main points, vague supporting ideas, and an overall speech where your message is not specific and understandable to your audience. Let's take a look at an example of what a specific purpose statement looks like. The example is in regards to streetcar racing. You'll notice that I have written specific purpose, capital S, capital P, colon, then from there to inform my audience so that they will be able to distinguish between legal and illegal streetcar racing. Now, the first part of the specific purpose is always the general purpose. And in this case, I would be delivering an informative speech. So therefore, my first part of the specific purpose statement is to inform. The second part is my audience. If we remember, all of our specific purpose statements in the second part of the specific purpose statement is always my audience. And the third part of the specific purpose statement, letting us know what we hope to accomplish, it says that they will be able to distinguish between legal and illegal streetcar racing. Now, probably if you were to research this particular topic, you're going to find all sorts of wonderful pieces about streetcar racing. However, it doesn't fit the criteria of legal and illegal streetcar racing. And now you're starting to see how easy it is for public speakers to get very much sidetracked based on the information out there that does not support their idea. So again, the more specific your specific purpose statement is, the easier it is to say yes or no to particular evidence. Present your idea to meet the needs of your audience. So we have some rules regarding the specific purpose. So again, the specific purpose is a single sentence that specifically states what the speaker hopes to accomplish in his or her speech. Additional guidelines is that our purpose statement must not be a fragment, must not be in the form of a question. We must avoid figurative language and must present one clear-cut idea. So in writing our specific purpose statements, remember the 3 parts. The first part will always be the general purpose. The second part will always be my audience. And the third part will always be what you as the speaker hope to accomplish in your speech. The next critical statement that we need to work on is the central idea. Now, the central idea is your roadmap as to how you will get to your end destination, and that end destination would be your specific purpose statement. Now, the central idea may be defined as one sentence that sums up the main points of your speech. Now, when it comes time to craft the central idea, a much easier route would be to wait until all of the main points in the speech have been researched, developed, written, rewritten, and are firmly in place. Because when crafting the central idea, it is one sentence that sums up the main ideas of your speech. That'll make your job a whole lot easier. Let's take a look at how all of these parts that we covered here shape up so we can conceptualize it. Let's take a look at how all of these ideas that we talked about look when we get done. So the broad topic of this particular speech would be computers. And for this example, the general purpose will be to inform. And the specific purpose, as you'll notice, it says specific purpose, capital S, capital P, colon, capital T on your to inform, and it says to inform my audience of the key criteria to consider when buying a laptop computer. And here's the central idea. When purchasing a laptop computer, pay close attention to the cost, speed, storage space, screen resolution, and the manufacturer's warranty. When reading the central idea, we want to be able to read this sentence and know exactly what the main points of your speech will be. So based on this example, we would be able to know that this particular speech has 5 main points. So what I would do is take a look at this central idea, and then I would go to the body of your speech and ask, do each of these points accurately reflect the main points in order that you have presented in your speech? So for this example, I'm expecting that the first main point of your speech will be cost. The second main point of your speech would be speed. The third main point would be storage space. The fourth main point would be screen resolution. And the fifth main point would be manufacturer's warranty. So a common error that people make is that people write the central idea way too early in the process, and we don't know what those main points are. We don't know what the body of the speech looks like. So we have to wait until that is done before we can appropriately craft a solid central idea statement. Here is another example of how everything looks that we've covered in this section here. Here's another example of everything from a topic down to the central idea. So the broad topic here is entrepreneurship, and the general purpose is to persuade. The specific purpose, known as capital S, capital P, colon, to persuade my audience that they should start their own business. And then here the central idea says, starting a business will help you tap into your creativity, build wealth, and allow you flexibility in your schedule. Now, just reading the central idea, we could see that this speech has 3 main points. Number 1 would be creativity. Number 2 would be build wealth. And number 3 would be allow you flexibility in your schedule. And again, when I'm looking at central idea statements, what I would do is I would read your central idea, and then I would go down to your body of your outline, and I would want to see for main point number 1 in your speech, creativity, for main point number 2 in your speech, build wealth, and main point number 3 in your speech, it allows you flexibility in your schedule. So here we've talked about how to select a topic. We learned about the 3 types of general purposes: to entertain, to inform, to persuade. We learned about the specific purpose statement, 1 sentence that states what you hope to accomplish in your speech. Number 3, and finally, we learned about the central idea, which is 1 sentence that sums up the main points of your speech.